Everybody, meet Tobey.
No. Oh, who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? Oh, fluffy dumbo.
So yeah, we've got a cat on the channel. Not just a beer cat this time. We've had him for about 3 months now, but of course with everything going on in the world, and I presume you know what I mean by that, we haven't really had chance to reveal him on here. He's a British long-haired cat. He's 6 months old, I think. So we've had him since about the end of February 2020, and we were actually very lucky to get him then as well. Don't bite my wires. Electric shocks, boom. Kitty cat in flames, and Chris in the corner being like, oh my god, Tobey, do you want to come up here? This is fun. We've had him since about the end of February, and we were very fortunate to get him as well because it was literally before lockdown started, and of course being 6 months old, he's a friendly kitty, aren't you? He wants his food. Half an hour. No, I'm sorry, I won't stare at you. Yeah, being 6 months old, that means that he was born in December, which means that we've got a Christmas baby. And I love Christmas. We had a few ideas for names before settling on Tobey. It was actually a long process. And you'd probably think that because of my surroundings, we got the name Tobey from Spider-Man, as in Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. And you'd be sort of correct, because that's kind of where I got it from. But I also like to think of it as a little nod to Lara Croft. Ooh, of course. As the creator of Lara Croft, as we ended up knowing her in 1996, was Tobey Gard. Although with my least preferred spelling of the name Tobey. Kathleen also just liked Tobey in general. Tobey, where are you going? Tobey. Tobey. Just step away from the collection. Tobey loves to play. That's one thing about him that I can say. Well, particularly with his fishy toy, as he goes crazy with that. That's definitely one toy you can't play with in here though. He also does enjoy snuggles and being held for the most part, albeit just for a significantly small amount of time. But the one thing that he loves above all else is food. If I say he goes crazy when playing with his fishy toy, then he goes absolutely ballistic when he wants his food. Yeah, he acts like he's never been fed before, but he actually gets fed slightly above the average for his age, so you're probably wondering if there's something not mentally wrong, medically wrong with him, but no, as far as we're aware at least, he's just greedy. He just enjoys devouring his kitty cat food, alright? And to be fair, I can't really blame him. Not that I've tried it or anything, unlike Kathleen, but yeah, it's probably like me with takeaway. I love a good takeaway, and if I get a takeaway in front of me, takeaway pizza in particular, I can't slow down, and I probably should, just like Tobey probably should with his food, but I'm trying to see it from his perspective. He gets fed at set times throughout the day, mainly because if we allowed him to be free fed, he'd be huge. But according to him, that's not enough, so whenever it gets close to his meal time, he literally comes screaming at us. So we're always aware when it's nearly his food time. He'll whine and whine until the food is literally touching the bottom of his bowl, which is also a challenge in of itself because it's literally impossible to do it without his little furry head getting in the way all the time. He often ends up with food all over his chin because of it, because he's ridiculous. And he also tries to get our food as well, especially when we're making it out in the kitchen, so we often have to chuck him out of the kitchen. So he'll be on the other side of the door going, meh, meh, and we'll just be like, Tobey, you've just ate. He just loves food, and who can blame him? He is nice. But particularly with Kathleen, he can get a bit controlling. And this is where we get into his scary side. He takes out his impatience over not getting fed there when he wants it with Kathleen, at least for the time being, because for some reason he associates her with being fed, and because of that he will literally scream at her right in her face, and despite never being fed when he's demanded to be fed, he still does this. I think it's because he doesn't really have a concept of time, unlike us, because of course he's a cat. But yeah, you're probably wondering what I'm doing with all this stuff in my room if I've got a cat now. Well, that's actually one thing I'm still working out. How to cat-proof my stuff whilst still having my stuff out on display. Because unlike minimalistic people who I appreciate all of their efforts for, of having to do nothing, I like to have my stuff on display because it just feels nice. I've always wanted to have that game room sort of appeal. Not gay room, game room. Nothing wrong with gay room either. But yeah, obviously having a cat and collections isn't a great mix because the cats like to jump, and to jump means to jump onto high up things. And the shelves are high up things, if you didn't realise. Yeah, I'm having to try and figure out how to stop him destroying everything. So far, I've been lucky in that he hasn't actually really attempted to jump on any of them. He's only really attempted when there hasn't really been anything on them, when there've been empty shelves, when we've been moving and everything. So I think when there's stuff on the shelves, he doesn't really try to. Although downstairs where we do have some stuff, he has actually tried to jump on top of the little shelving units we have there. And in some ways that's worse because Layla is there. I'm not comfortable with him being right next to her because he gets really cheeky. Yeah, if you followed me on social media or Kathleen, you'll be aware that Tobey isn't our first cat. We did have a little kitten called Layla, so we knew what to expect when going in, and a lot of stuff that Tobey ended up having, including the cat tree, was actually Layla's. So yeah, he inherited a lot of stuff from Layla, but unlike Layla, he's a lot cheekier in the naughty sense. Layla was cheeky in a fun, cute way. Tobey is still cute and fun, but he's also scary. Yeah, it's weird because when we had Layla, we obviously didn't have her for as long. We had her for about 3 months, which seems crazy now because we've had Tobey longer than 3 months now. But it felt like we had Layla forever, whereas Tobey still feels like we just got him, which is weird. But I think part of that is because we've been in lockdown with him and everything's been kind of static and the same for a very long time. So, you know, you're not really forming that as many varied memories with him, which is a bit of a shame, but at least we can start some new memories with him, which is always good, as long as he calms down a bit and stops scratching us up and biting our heads. Yeah, it's at the point where we don't get a whole night's sleep, at least not a full sleep uninterrupted, especially Kathleen. Again, because he sees her as fridge lady. Tobey will actually scream and scream as he's coming up the stairs on a morning to be like, "Oi, everybody, I'm coming to demand my food." And then if Kathleen in particular doesn't respond to that, he will then proceed to jumping on the bed, walking up behind her head and start attacking her. Yeah, we have to hide under the covers these days, and if not, Kathleen will nearly get dragged out of the bed because Tobey is getting to the point where he is strong enough for some reason somehow to drag her out of bed. He's a very muscly little cat. It's not all just fur, and she'll be just sat on the sofa downstairs watching TV, and it'll be coming up his food time, maybe. Sometimes he does this not long after he's already been fed, he just gets bored, I guess. And he will walk up behind her and start attacking her from behind while I just watch because it's funny. It's funny. But yeah, I don't know, this was just a short video, I think, to introduce Tobey. And I haven't done one of these type of videos in a long time, talking to the camera, and yeah. Good Tobey. He's gone because he ran off. He is nice. He is a nice cat. The majority of the time he is nice. It's just when it gets to the point where he's like, I'm bored. Feed me. That he can be a bit, oh my god, scary. I'm sure he'll grow out of it. He is still a little kitten after all. I'll probably be posting more of him on my Instagram if you want to follow me there. And he actually has his own Instagram page because they start Instagram young these days. But yeah, would I recommend getting a cat? Yeah. I've had 3 now in total. I like dogs as well. I'm not one of those people that are like, I'm a cat person. And I'm not one of those people that are like, I'm a dog person, because I like both of them. Okay, so thanks for watching this little weird video. Bye. Subscribe. Oh, it's on the other side. Other side, that's my finger. There you go. Did you like that? You can have a treat while you wait for your food, which is due in another half an hour. So if you just rest there and wait for it patiently. That's what he does when he wants fed.